Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Aquachella, Chicago, 2021. I am the Fish Tank Barn, and I am surrounded by two gentlemen here, one with blue hair and one with a red beard. So if you gentlemen would like to introduce yourselves, go right ahead.
Go for it, buddy.
This is James, the Fish Room Fever.
And that is my pal, Chattanooga Ed.
Awesome.
So what do you guys think of the show so far?
I'm really loving it. I've got to say, this is only my second one. I know you gentlemen have got a little more experience with them. I went to Orlando this year and now here. And I love the fact that it's got that familiar feel to me from Orlando, but it's also slightly different. It's not the exact same thing repeated. So that's really fun. I'm loving the layout. I mean, I think the little bit more floor space that they added, and I've talked about this before, but it feels really nice not to be crammed in like sardines. It's just a great vibe. But of course, it's fish people, so it's just happy, fun times, you know?
Yeah, I've never been to a convention that's this wide open,
Yeah.
and that's awesome. I really like that because you don't have to be up against somebody that stinks. I really like that. You know, there's plenty of space, and I love that totally.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny for me because I was used to going to the ones at the White Eagle Convention Center, and that was a little more homey, you know, a little bit more close together and everything. So this is a little bit different vibe for me. I've not been to the one in I didn't go to the one in Orlando. I'm from Michigan, so it's a little far for me to go at that point. But yeah. So what was your favorite aspect of the show so far?
So I know people get tired of hearing this. I'll give you two things. I'll give you from an attendance perspective, just somebody that, you know, would buy a ticket and come in, what I looked at that way, and also from a creative perspective. First off, the creative perspective, it's been you all hanging out with, you know, you guys, getting to talk with you, meeting the fans, and just having a good time in that aspect of it. In terms of an attendee, if you will, really, I've got to say the variety that's out there is just really, really nice. You know, a lot of stuff is either fresh or it's salt. You've got the mix of both. You've got a good variety of both. You've got lots of awesome vendors. And then you see some new names that you haven't seen before. So, you know, people know Fritz and Extreme, TJ, companies like that. But you may run across maybe a local store that has set up a booth here. One of the things I think is great when you come to something like this is typically we all have things that are common in our areas and uncommon in our areas. So if you're coming from out of town, it's a great opportunity to find things that may not be locally available for you. So
Absolutely. Go ahead, Ed.
Oh man, what do I like the best about this? Man, I like just about everything. I love looking at all the fish junk, and you know, a lot of it's junk, but it's awesome junk. This is the type of stuff that I want in my house, and it's really hard not to bring it home.
Absolutely.
And there is a lot of there's just so many different supplies and stuff that you can buy that you don't get to know about it. And like I was talking to the Fritz guy, and he supplies my local fish store. Man, I could see something that maybe my local guy can't see because, you know, they can just put so much in the back of a truck or a van or something. But here I get to see the whole thing, and I can pitch it to my guy, and I love it. I don't know, just everything is cool. I don't know if there's anything I dislike.
Right. I think there's really a good thing here is that, you know, if you're out there, you know, an aquarium keeper out there, and you see something at one of these conventions, you know, go advocate to your local fish store. I mean, they have reps that come in from all the different companies, and you see something like at the Fritz booth, for example, and, you know, you really like that product, and it's not in your local fish store, be an advocate for yourself and for your fellow hobbyists. You know, get that item into the fish store.
absolutely. So we do have a couple of questions in the chat, and I want to let you all know that we are keeping an eye on that, so we'll be happy to take questions from there. Somebody mentioned me riding the shark is their favorite thing. You all haven't gotten to see the footage of Fish Tank Barn riding the shark yet. I'll put that out probably tonight.
I wish I could
edit
ride
some
it
for you because there were some angles in there.
There was a few out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I could imagine.
CJ Black says, so Ed, what salty stuff are you taking back to Chattanooga?
Salty stuff?
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be a raffle at 4 o'clock, and I put a butt ton of raffle tickets in the salt stuff because I noticed nothing was in there. And so I'm hoping I win some of the salt stuff and hope that it's useful for me. And I'll show it to Mike, and then he can tell me how to use it.
There we go. Yeah, so just so you guys know, we do a show about once a month or so, kind of going over saltwater for beginners.
And I'm the beginner.
And so, I've done saltwater tanks for quite a few years. Do mostly freshwater now on the channel, but decided to kind of jump back in a little bit and set up a 180-gallon reef tank. So I've kind of bought some corals this week at the show. James has done salt as well, so we're all kind of doing saltwater tanks together, and kind of, taking a break from the freshwater stuff and talking a little bit about saltwater.
Absolutely, and like you said, it's simple saltwater. And again, we've got beginner, intermediate, and then advanced, given that you've bred saltwater fish. And we break it down to the level of, we devoted, the first episode was just talking tank size, one episode just on water. And not to plug it, but that's what we're doing there if you're interested. And I bring that up because there is a nice salt showing at these events, so we don't want to leave the salty people out. But yeah, we'd love for you to come by. It's on the Fish Room Fever channel, but we all three are on the show. So.
Correct.
Some of the corals are just amazing.
They are. It's
oh my gosh.
It's hard to get like a, I don't know if it was, I'm not gonna say sticker shock, but like, I don't know, a coral envy we'll call it.
Right. Yes.
You get that coral envy going. It's like, oh, I want to get that. I want to get that. So I did buy a few corals, mostly like some zoanthids and stuff. But yeah. So did you guys get anything interesting at the show?
I got some axolotl socks.
Nice, very nice.
They're great.
I'm kind of jealous because I know that now that you've shown those, I'm going to have to go get some from Mrs. Fever.
They're all out.
Okay, well, there you go. Thank you. They're all out. So before you type that, I need to go get those after the stream. They're gone. Sorry. Love you.
Susie Q bought the last pair, and they were the pair that was the display.
But yeah, I picked up a little Baby Yoda statue to go in one of the tanks, and then I got a T-shirt. I really wasn't trying to get a whole lot. I was coming more for the creator aspect, if you will, than the shopper aspect. Again, we didn't plan to be here. It was support that got us here, and we're so grateful that we had invites and people that reached out and were like, hey, we want to get you to this. But it wasn't something I was like, oh, I need to go and fill my trunk with driftwood type of thing, which this is a great place to do it at. But it wasn't one of those things. So just little memorabilia things here and there to remember it by. I got a custom drawing done by a guy that does great glow-in-the-dark artwork type stuff. And you'll see more of that on our Thursday stream on my channel. I'll reveal all the things that we got. But just little things like that. Hopefully I've got a couple Kessel lights and some other things from the raffle when that happens here soon. That's another great thing. When you come to these, they do these charity raffles. Even if you don't win, that's still, for me, it's like, I'm going to donate some money to this cause. If I win something, great. If not, at least I'm helping out. So just keep that in mind.
And all of the raffle donation funds go to charity as well.
Yeah.
So that's something very important to keep in mind as well.
The raffle's at 4, and if we go past 4, either James, I could take your card and jump off, or we could ask somebody to do our cards for us.
Absolutely. Well, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. We've still got a lot to talk about before we get there.
We have 27 minutes.
But absolutely. So covered, what we're getting and whatnot for the most part. Roll through here. I think we're caught up on the questions. I appreciate the support from you all. Yeah, no. We want to mention things, but we're not going to plug stuff away. But we appreciate the fact that you all support us doing that. And thank you for saying that is awesome. Love you guys being here. We want to plug Aquachella because these guys have been nice to us. And that's one thing
really
that I like
have.
to talk about.
Absolutely.
From a creator aspect, if you will. We're not big fish in the sea, right? I think we all feel the same way, but they treat us like we're golden, and we can't say thank you enough for that. So we want to do what we can to kind of show our love in return.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having us out here.
Yeah.
Giving us the platform to speak here, and we've had a great time.
Really have.
Yeah, and Rob from Phillips Aquatic has been amazing. You guys need to check out his shrimp online because they're super good. But he has been so cool. Yesterday, my favorite thing, he gave me donuts to give to people. He said, get rid of all these donuts. And so I went into the live talk and everybody's waiting. And I was like, donuts. And it was great because, everybody's just bored sitting there. And it was so much fun to have fun with the people and give them donuts. I loved it.
Absolutely. Well, that's the thing. Rob's been
Great.
almost like a personal concierge. He's been so supportive. He's like, dude, what can I do for you? I'm happy to hear any ideas you have for me. This guy right here.
Don't listen to anything these guys say. None of it's true. No, I appreciate you guys saying that.
Hey,
I really
absolutely.
do.
Yep, we're getting
You guys are awesome. You guys are killing it up here. So keep killing it. And thank you for the shout out. I appreciate it.
no problem.
Appreciate
We're
you, buddy.
I was gonna say we're getting swatted by Rob.
We are.
You know what? And I can actually go online and add a number to our stream. So if you guys have friends out there, tell them, hey, there's one more stream left in the day at Aquachella, and it's
Absolutely.
these goofy guys up here.
Yep.
Come and join us for the
Yeah.
last one.
Yep. We're the. I'm gonna say we're like the setup guy. If you watch baseball at all, you know, because there's gonna be 5 o'clock. I think it's gonna be Science Gal with
Yep.
Greg Whitstock. So
That's going to be an awesome show. I think that's going to be a great way to wind down the Aquachella streams. I think it's awesome, the support that you all have shown. It's basically double the channel subscriber count over the weekend. So that's fantastic. And I know that they're looking to do things like that so that we can get this out to more people, for future Aquachellas, because we all love the hobby. We all love fish, and we just want to grow the community that we get to hang out with. So that's really what we're here for.
yeah, I mean that's the one thing about Aquachella. It's always been about the community. I was fortunate enough to go to the first Aquachella, and I think that community has just grown as we've gone. It's just grown through the years. Back in it was August 2018. At the White Star Convention Center, it's all grown to here. And what happened in Orlando, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it, but definitely is grown. It's really become a great show.
Oh, it really, really has. And again, it's one of those, just because you've been to one doesn't mean that you're going to have the same experience. So I was very curious, again, as somebody new to the Aquachella scene, if you will. Some events you go to, and it's like if you've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 times. I showed up here, and it's like, well, again, talking about local vendors, you've got different local people that were here. You've got different people that came from across the country that came across the country to Orlando. So even if you went to one, you still get a completely, I won't say completely, but a very different viewing. Things that don't change. You've got awesome companies like Fritz and Extreme, Seachay, Magfloat, people like that show up to all of these, and that's phenomenal. That way they can get
Castle.
out to as many people. Yeah,
I got
Castle.
Castle stickers.
There
It
you
was
go.
so funny. On today's stream, on my stream, I was just walking around being goofy, and I was talking about how neat castles were, and I was talking in front of their booth. It was kind of crazy.
All right, we're going to have to give Rob a hard time now that we said all those nice things, because he's still got us listed as Peter and Remy on the stream there.
So who's Peter? If you and I are Peter, and he's Remy.
Yeah, I guess. No, you're Peter, he's Remy, and I'm Aquachella Live.
I
There
could
we
be
go,
Ringo.
2021.
Ringo.
Did we see Chevy Fish today? No, I need to swing by and
I
see Chevy
did.
if Chevy's still here. I've been doing this number and hadn't gotten quite up to that part of it yet. I'd asked John to fix our names on there, but he'd probably shut the stream down.
I heard an echo. Where
I
echo?
was joking. I said I'd ask you to change our names because it says we're Peter and Remy, but you might shut the stream down if you touch it. Anyway, no, I need to get up there and see Chevy. Chevy's awesome. Chevy Fish, another huge supporter.
All right.
She's been here basically the whole week doing setup stuff. So that's another cool thing. You never really know who you're going to meet at these.
Absolutely.
We're so spread out everywhere across the country, and you never know what locals are going to come out, what people are also going to travel to these things. You see some people that traveled to the past one that came to this one. You see people that couldn't make it to the last one that get to this one. It's just a great place to hang out with friends while looking at cool fish stuff. Awaze, they've got a great setup. I can't believe I haven't mentioned them before now. The scapes that they do and the tanks that they set up, the products they have, it's awesome. And Jen Williams is an awesome person too. So I love hanging out with them. That's another one. Even you get to the point, you go to these things, you get familiar with the reps or the vendors and things.
Right,
That's
yeah.
another aspect.
There's always there's always people sort of in the ether at a lot of these shows you see.
Yes.
You walk through, like Jay Wilson's going to be here.
Yeah.
There's certain fixtures of these shows that you see over and over again. Rob's going to be here.
But right now, from here where we're looking, I can see see Stephen Conroy.
Peter and Larry on there. So they're like,
Well, I can
"You're
see
not Peter and
Stephen
Larry."
Conroy, and I can see Crystal Pets and Plants and Lefty.
I told us, so we take
3051.
back all the good things.
John from KG is right next to us. We got Rob, Joanne from Primetime. So there's a whole mess of people
you don't
everywhere
have to
you
do
look,
that.
and everybody is just friendly, and we're having a nice time. I even got to meet Rob's father-in-law, and he's a cool guy.
Yeah, we all went out to dinner last night, which was outstanding. So definitely want to thank Fritz for that, and it was good to interact with everyone
Yeah.
in that environment as well.
And it really gives you, like in that instance, and this is not so much for the attendees, if you will, but for us, it gave you a chance to interact with people. I don't want to say uninterrupted because I'm never interrupted. And I want to say, if you're ever at one of these things and you see, one of your favorite fish tubers or whatever, don't hesitate to talk to them. Had a couple of people I missed the opportunity to talk to because they just didn't want to interrupt. But that's what it's all about. Is it's constantly people coming up. So that's what we want you to do. So, don't hesitate. If you see, Rob or myself or John, we're here to talk to you all. So don't hesitate to come up and say, hey, how's it going?
I mean,
John's looking like.
No, and literally, it always makes me feel bad. Whoever it is, they see him somewhere. Oh, I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah.
And it not me or anyone else. Certainly John or Jason or whoever's here. We don't want to. We don't want to interrupt you. Interrupt them. They're here. They're here to meet you.
Absolutely.
That's why they've come to these events. So,
Definitely. And if you're afraid to break them up, come to me, and then I'll take you straight to them and break it up.
He will. He will.
absolutely.
I've done it many times because nobody minds.
Detroit Shrimp and Aquatics, what's going on, buddy? He says, there's my 3 new best friends. It was good to meet you. Case
Yeah.
in point, Hey,
Detroit is amazing.
It's
Super
me.
cool
How's it
guy.
going?
Yep, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah,
and I
so-
was shocked on how big he is.
Yes.
he's tall.
And when
guy.
I say big, I mean he's like basketball tall.
Yeah.
It's always funny when you meet someone, you have the camera image of them, but then you meet the physical image, and it's always interesting to see, meeting people in person, as opposed to through the screen. You think you know them through the screen, and then you meet them in person. It's kind of a thrill.
It really is. It really is. So I'll answer this real quick. Stephen P is asking, how does one get a YouTuber pass for Aquachella Dallas? I would reach out to Rob with Aquatics.
Yep.
That's the man to talk to. He'll work with you. We're not going to go on a spiel about this, but there's not like a set of specific guidelines. So, there's some things where to be recognized, they might say, well, you need 10,000 subscribers or something like that. There's no bar like that. It's very much an individual, hey, we'll talk to you, what's going on, what do you want to do, that type of thing.
Yep.
I'm very open and welcoming. That's pretty much it in terms of what we really want to dive into, I guess.
So,
that part of it.
I guess for you, for both of you, what was your highlight of the weekend?
Basketball?
No, that was the low light of the weekend.
Yeah, that was a sad start.
That was a sad,
weekend.
sad ending to my basketball career.
Yeah, I'll keep it local to the show, not the things that we went and did outside of it. There's so many awesome things. One of the cool things I thought that happened was, Brett from Tank was here. I think
Yep.
he is still here, actually. I don't know whether he's gone or not. But they put him up against Tanner from Serpent Designs. So it was this mainstream TV versus fish tube thing that kind of happened. That was really fun to see those two worlds kind of come together, and the fact that they both had fun with it and it wasn't a hostile environment. There were some little fun jabs back and forth. That was, I think, the coolest thing, was to see this TV personality and this YouTube personality both get on the stage and just have fun with each other. So even though the YouTuber won.
So, someone did ask, I think it was CJ, has there been a Fishy Biz sighting? I have not seen Fishy Biz.
Nope. Fishy Biz has personal stuff going on at home. He was hoping to make it, but he wasn't able to. It's not bad stuff. It's good. So, but we can still keep him in our prayers.
Absolutely.
There you go. So, I think my highlight for me was literally just the amount of variety that's here. I sort of reignited my saltwater flame a little bit, going to look at corals again, which I've not done in years.
Yeah.
And you've got plants, you've got Cunningham cichlids with you can go buy Malawi hawks and predator haps. something that you don't see a lot of at shows. You've got, you can get shrimp from Flip Aquatics, LRB. You can get live bears from LRB. You can get reptiles, all kinds of driftwood, the shrimp contests, flower horns, South American cichlids. It's all here. And so I think that's a really great aspect of it, especially bringing, saltwater and freshwater together, which, to my knowledge, this is the only place this happens.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't see more frogs. I saw lots of lizards and snakes and turtles and tortoises and, of course, fish and coral. But I didn't, and amphibians, because we see axolotls everywhere. But I didn't see any frogs.
Yeah, I didn't pay. I'm not a big
Not at
reptile.
the show. We did have frogs down in Orlando. Well, we didn't, but there were the frogs.
I've
there.
seen one crab and one crayfish, and they both got bought.
Yeah. So, and again, I think that's kind of plays into the locational thing. Where you're at geographically. Also, with what vendors are coming from where geographically. So, there was a real big showing of amphibians down there, but down in Florida, that tends to be kind of a big thing. I don't know what the demographic here is for amphibians, but it may not be, what they go for. I know they did great with the reptiles and like the tortoises and stuff. They were saying they're gone. The monitor's gone, stuff like that. So I think that they also look at where am I going, what's selling hot there, or maybe what's not available there, and then they bring things to cater to that. So
I think it's neat, though, that the reptile guys are invited.
yeah, it really is.
And everybody loves them. I mean, maybe not everybody wants to buy one, but they still give them their love. And I've seen, I saw a kid walking out with a tarantula. He was like, it was such a good deal, I couldn't, and it's like, I hope his mom's going to accept that.
Right.
It was awesome. So, yeah.
We had a funny conversation earlier. I won't digress too far off, but there's a dog grooming show going on next door. And as we're sitting back here at the fish tuber booth, we're wondering, if we walk next door, is there a dog tuber booth in the back corner in their event? I'm curious. If anybody knows, please let me know. That was just a fun thought. Like, you never really know what all goes into these events or what all you might run across until you go to one.
I kind of wanted to sneak into the dog show.
Yeah.
And kind of film it. Like, I did find a dog, like in the lobby of the hotel I took a picture of. It was 16 different colors and patterns and everything else. And so it was kind of an interesting thing. But there was a lot of different, dogs with shades of colors and haircuts and all kinds of things.
Absolutely.
It's amazing when you go out to one of these conventions, what else is going on in the hotel at, you have Indian weddings, you have dog conventions, you've got dance competitions, and like all of these were going on this weekend at the venue. There's, you've got dancers doing flips in the hallway, you've got, you've got dogs running around, you've got, fish guys, weddings going on.
Yeah.
It's a pretty wild thing to see this mix of people and even mix of cultures. They did part of the Indian wedding outside. I sat and watched it for a minute. I've never seen one, so I was like, that's kind of interesting.
Definitely. So, kind of playing in on that, we had a question. I didn't encounter anybody selling fish from their hotel room, but it was asked, did you encounter people selling fish from the hotel room?
I did not. I think this is the kind of event where that's not really a thing.
Yeah.
It's more, those are more things like, the Ohio Cichlid Association extravaganza, things like the American Live Bear Association convention. Those sort of events are more
Keystone Clash
are more the room sale type of events. In Aquachella, it's a trade show with, the larger vendors, that's pretty well, the room sale thing kind of frowned upon. And I don't know, this is the type of hotel that would really have that.
Yeah. No, so it's not quite that same environment, if you will. Chris Trapp wants to know if we're bringing back any fish. I am not planning on bringing back any fish, and that's all I can commit to is not planning on.
Right, you never know.
Yeah.
I might bring back something, but I've not decided yet.
Yep, and I was just going to bring back my axolotl socks. Axolotl.
Very nice, very nice.
So I've not decided yet for sure, but kind of after this is going to be kind of like it's going to start being the deal time, I think, when we step off of here.
Yeah, well, we'll do the drawing, and then I'm going to probably look for some plants, maybe.
Yes.
Yep. So, and I'm probably going to go after the drawing and do a live stream on mine because I promised you all another one. But it's been counting votes and things like. And that was another awesome thing, was kind of getting incorporated into, hey, you want to go count votes for this contest? Do you want to go be a part of this? That was really awesome for me, and it was really fun getting to interact with the crowd and other fish people in that way as well. So.
You never know who you're going to run into at one of these.
We got awesome people like this guy over here who hosted us on Friday. You know, we're just getting the mics warmed up for him coming up next. But it's a blast. It really is. You never know who you're going to bump into. We've got about 9 more minutes because we're not going to keep the next crew waiting. So if you've got any final questions, I do want to say a huge thank you to all of you all for showing up. I see so many familiar names, and I appreciate each and every one of you all. Edgar Select Pet, Chris Trapp, Zen, everybody. Patty, I saw you in here.
Hello, Edgar.
Thank y'all so much. Love the support. So it's great to incorporate you all into this as well. And I know you appreciate that because I read that in the comments. Thank you for bringing us along. You know, you made us feel like we were there. And I think that's something that going forward, they're going to incorporate some more of without speaking out of school. So I think you're going to see a lot more of that also coming from the actual Aquachella side, along with people like Mike and Ed and myself trying to get you more involved on a virtual level. So look forward to that. Even if you can't get out and attend an event in person, you'll get more of that virtual stuff going on in the future. But really try and get out to one, because it's one of those things that it's great to watch, but you really can't explain how awesome it is to be there. So.
Yeah, I've always loved fish events. You know, over the last year it's been a little quiet, obviously for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's been good to get out again, you know, go to a big fish show again. So it's been a lot of fun. I've had a good weekend for sure.
Awesome. So Select Pet says, just so Ed and James know, Tennessee is still there and doing okay. I'm glad. I worry that the state's going to fall apart without the Tennessee Fish Mafia present. I appreciate the update, letting us know that, you know, things are still going well.
So law and order has been maintained?
Well, we sent Sean back.
Yeah.
So Sean's there, and we're just a little piece of it. So there's a whole mess of great people still there, and I wish they would have come up with us, because that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I'm kind of Detroit versus everybody. There's a shirt that goes around Detroit. It's Detroit versus everybody. So I'm my own mafia. So I know that Michigan is in the capable hands of the people that are there. So,
well, you're our transporter.
Yeah.
Well, most importantly, though, we're all fish fam, and that's
absolutely.
Even though, you know, you've got competing businesses or competing vendors and things of that nature, we're all fish fam, and that's what everybody that I've interacted with, because I can only speak from my experiences, but everybody that I interact with, it's like, we're fish lovers first, we're hobbyists first, everything else comes after that. So that's one of those things you don't find in every hobby, and you don't find everywhere. So the fact that we get to share that, it's just great.
So I guess, you know, we're getting close to 4 o'clock, so any parting thoughts? Any, you know, things that you want to leave people with before, you know, we let Mr. Whitsock and Carrie come on here to kind of close the show out.
Oh man, guys, if you came and you didn't say hi, shame on you, because it was so much fun. And if you didn't make it, I feel bad, because I wish everybody could. Absolutely. It's just a blast. It's so much fun. It's awesome. And Stephen Conroy just waved at me.
Yep.
You can only get that at Aquachella.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wait, I said your name wrong again.
Conroe, right?
Conroe. I'm sorry. People
if Ed says
see
it right,
I'm terrible.
There's a problem. Yeah. No, so
I'm sorry.
I really
He'll
think
never
that
wave at me again.
Kind of my takeaways are, if you can, bring a little extra money, because you never know what you're going to run into. Save a little space in the car when you're loading it up. And then, really, like you said, come and enjoy the camaraderie. Come and enjoy the fish fam, because you really don't get it anywhere else like you do at these events. And don't be afraid to say hi. I can't stress that enough. Don't be afraid to come up. If Mike and Ed and I are all standing here talking, come up and go, hey, I'm so-and-so. And we're like, oh, dude, that, because that has really been the number one best part for me, is people come up and say, I appreciate what you do. Because, I mean, that's just, it keeps me so humbled and thankful. and it's the greatest thing that I could experience because I'm just a guy, I'm just like everybody
Right.
else. So thank you for that.
Right. As soon as I walk out the door, get in my van and drive home, I'm just Mike again, and I get to go back to work on Tuesday and get back at the normal life, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So I think the manager's coming to get us off the mound. So I think that's our time. So definitely hit up the Aquachella channel, and definitely hit up Fish Room Fever, Chattanooga Ed. I'm Fish Tank Barn. Have a great evening, and we'll leave it up to Greg and Carrie to close us out.
Thanks, Mike.
Here we go.